Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another reading of the Bible. We are at First Kings, First Kings 16. First Kings 16. Here we go. Then the word of the Lord came to Jehu, the son of Hanani, against Baasha, saying, now Baasha, I believe, was the king of Israel. Okay, he was the king of Israel. I thought he was king of Egypt. Excuse me. Um, Jehu, the son of Hanani, against Baasha, saying, for as much as I exalted thee out of the dust and made thee prince over my people Israel, and thou hast walked in the way of Jeroboam and hast made my people Israel to sin, to provoke me to anger with their sins, sins plural, behold, I will take away the posterity of Baasha, and the posterity of his house, and will make thy house like the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat. Him who dieth of Baasha in the city shall the dogs eat. Ew. And him who dieth of his in the fields shall the fowls of the air eat. Disgusting. Now the rest of the acts of Baasha and what he did and his might, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? So Baasha slept with his fathers and was buried in Tirzah. And Elah, E-L-A-H, Elah, his son, reigned in his stead. Also by the hand of the prophet Jehu, the son of Hanani, came the word of the Lord against Baasha and against his house, even for all the evil that he did in the sight of the Lord, in provoking him to anger with the work of his hands, in being like the house of Jeroboam, and because he killed him. In the 26th year of Asa, king of Judah, began Elah, the son of Baasha, to reign over Israel in Tirzah 2 years. His servant Zimri, captain of half his chariots, conspired against him, being Elah, as he was in Tirzah, drinking himself drunk in the house of Arza, steward of his house in Tirzah. Zimri went in and smote him, That's house of Arza, or Elah. Smote Elah. Okay, I think it's Elah. In the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, and reigned in his stead. So Zimri reigned instead of Elah. It came to pass when he began to reign, as soon as he sat on his throne, that he slew all the house of Baasha. He left him not one who pissed against the wall, neither of his kinsfolk nor of his friends. Thus did Zimri destroy all the house of Baasha according to the word of the Lord, which he spake against Baasha by Jehu the prophet. For all the sins of Baasha and the sins of Elah his son, by which they sinned, and by which they made Israel to sin, in provoking the Lord God of Israel to anger with their vanities. Now the rest of the acts of Elah and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? In the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, did Zimri reign 7 days in Tirzah. And the people were encamped against Gibeton. I think the H is silent there. I'm not sure. Gibeton, which belonged to the Philistines. The people who were encamped there heard say, interesting. Encamped there, heard this being said, Zimri hath conspired, and hath also slain the king. Wherefore all Israel made Omri, the king of the host, king over Israel that day in the camp. Omri went up from Gibbethon, and all Israel with him, and they besieged Tirzah. It came to pass when Zimri saw that the city was taken, that he went into the palace of the king's house and burnt the king's house over him with fire and died. For his sins which he sinned in doing evil in the sight of the Lord, and walking in the way of Jeroboam, And in his sin which he did to make Israel to sin, now the rest of the acts of Zimri and his treason that he wrought, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Then were the people of Israel divided into two parts. Half of the people followed Tibni, the son of Ginath, to make him king, and half followed Omri. But the people who followed Omri prevailed against the people who followed Tibni, the son of Ginath. So Tibni died, and Omri reigned. In the 31st year of Asa, king of Judah, began Omri to reign over Israel 12 years. 6 of those years reigned he in Persia. He bought the hill Samaria of Shamir for 2 talents of silver, and built on the hill, and called the name of the city which he built after the name of Shemer, owner of the hill, Samaria. So that's where we get Samaria today. But Omri wrought evil in the eyes of the Lord, and did worse than all that were before him. For he walked in the way of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and in his sin wherewith he made Israel to sin, to provoke the Lord God of Israel to anger with their vanities. Provoke the Lord God of Israel to anger with their vanities. Now the rest of the acts of Omri, which he did, and his might that he showed, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? So Omri slept with his fathers and was buried in Samaria, and Ahab, we've heard of Ahab, Captain Ahab from Moby Dick. Well, this is another Ahab. Ahab or Ahab, Ahab, if you want to do a little Muslim, not Muslim, excuse me, a little Middle Eastern, his son reigned in his stead. And in the 38th year of Asa, king of Judah, began Ahab, the son of Omri, to reign over Israel, and Ahab, the son of Omri, reigned over Israel in Samaria 22 years. Excuse me, verse 30. Ahab, the son of Omri, did evil in the sight of the Lord above all that were before him. And it came to pass, it came to pass as if he had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, that he took to wife Jezebel. Oh, Jezebel, not Jezebel. Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, king of the Zidonians, and went and served Baal and worshipped him. Or Baal, and worshipped him. Should be worshipped it, not him. Huh. He reared up an altar for Baal in the house of Baal, which he had built in Samaria. Ahab made a grove, and Ahab did more to provoke the Lord God of Israel to anger than all the kings that were before him. So more than the other guy, the previous guy. In his days did Hiel, the Bethelite, build Jericho. He laid the foundation thereof, and Abiram, his firstborn, and set up the gates thereof to his youngest son Zegub, according to the word of the Lord, which he spake by Joshua the son of Nun. Joshua the son of Nun? We've heard of that guy. Joshua, is that the same guy? Is that the same Joshua as Joshua and Caleb after Moses and Aaron? Let's see. 34. Joshua 6:26. Oh. Joshua 6:26. Let's read that. That's way before Samuel. Let's go to Joshua 6 real quick. One more page. What is it? Joshua 6:26. Verse 26 says, build an altar unto the Lord thy God upon the top of this rock in the ordered place, and take the second bullock and offer a burnt offering with the wood of the grove which thou shalt cut down. Is that the right reference? 1634. I guess it is. Says it is. According to verse 34, 1 Kings 16:34. In his days, in Ahab's days, did Hiel the Bethelite build Jericho. He laid the foundation thereof in Abiram, Abiram one. Oh, at the cost of the life of Abiram. Oh, interesting. Yeah, and set up the gates thereof in his youngest son Zegu, according to the word of the Lord, which he spake by Joshua the son of Nun. Someone explain that to me, because this. Okay, verse 16, or 6:36, right? 6:26. Build an altar unto the Lord. It's Joshua 6:26. See if there's any references here. Judges 2:2, Judges 3:7. Huh. Okay. Well, someone explain why there's a reference to Joshua chapter 6, verse 26, from 1 Kings 16:34. Someone explain that. In his days did Hiel the Bethelite build Jericho, and Joshua with his men took down Jericho. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Anyhow, I wonder if there's a reference over in the chronological Bible. I guess not. According to the chronological Bible, 1633 compares Joshua 6:26. Hmm. Huh. Interesting. Go back and read this. Hmm. 6:26. I probably read the wrong. I think I read the wrong reference. 6:26, right? Joshua 6:26. Oh, I read Judges. I'm sorry. I read Judges. My bad. Joshua 6:26. My apologies. I read Judges by accident. Oops. Um, Here we go. Here's 26. Joshua adjured them at that time, saying, Cursed be the man before the Lord, who riseth up and buildeth the city Jericho. He shall lay the foundation thereof, and his firstborn. Okay. Okay, I see. That makes sense. And in his youngest son he shall set up the gates of it. Okay, yeah. I read Judge 6:6. My apologies. Joshua 6:6. Okay. So Joshua made a curse, made a curse. So the Lord was with Joshua. And okay. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. So in his day, First Kings, final time, First Kings 34, 1634. In his days did Hiel, the Bethelite, build Jericho. He laid the foundation thereof, and at the cost of the life of his son Abiram, and set up the gates thereof in the life of his youngest son Segub, according to the word of the Lord. Okay, so Hiel tried to build the city Jericho, and I believe he was cursed or he died. So okay, interesting, very interesting. That's the connection. So First Kings 16:34 has a reference to Joshua back in Joshua 6:26. All right, that makes sense. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna stop here, and I will see you guys in a bit.